We will see Java technical questions for interviews. Now, who is the father of Java? Now, James Gonsling is called as father of Java and is a Canadian computer scientist, best known as a founder and lead designer behind the Java programming language. And he was born in 19 May 1955. Then Java started in which year? Java was first developed in 1991 and the first public release was in May 1995. Java programming language was developed by which company? Now, Sun Microsystem is a company which had developed Java programming language. Then listed features of Java. So here we have few features like simple, portable, secure, dynamic, interpreted, multi-threaded, distributed, object-oriented, platform-independent, architecture-neutral, and high performance. Now, these all features makes the Java as a powerful programming language. Now, why Java is portable? Because when we write an application in Java, we can run that particular application on any operating system. So we can transfer our files very easily to a different platform and we can run it. So Java is a portable language due to the concept of write once, run anywhere and platform independence. By writing once through Java, developers can get the same result on every machine, provided it holds the JDK software, Java Development Kit software. Why Java is secure? So we have some reasons in order to support this. Java programs runs inside a virtual machine, which is known as a sandbox. A sandbox is an area where all the malicious code are being stored into that particular zone, and the files which are available under the sandbox area are not permitted to access the system resources. And later on, the files which are stored in the sandbox area will be deleted automatically. The second one is Java does not support explicit pointer because in C and C++, the major problem with the pointers was memory leakage. That particular memory leakage problem has been avoided in Java by providing the concept of garbage collection. Garbage collection is a process which releases the memory for unused Java objects automatically. So we need not write extra external code. Third point says that bytecode verifier checks the code fragments for illegal code that can violate access right to object. So whenever you compile your application, the Java application, you get the dot class file which contains the bytecode. And there also we are going to check that which code is been having the permission and which code is not having the permission for execution and also the accessing of the resources. Fourth point, it provides java.security package which implements explicit security. We can write our own authentication authorization concepts where we have some classes and interfaces in the package called java.security. We can import that package and we can develop our own applications for security. Then runtime security check takes place when we load new code. So any point of time, we load the application for execution. There is something called security manager class, which is going to check the application for the malicious activities existing or not. Why Java is dynamic? Now Java supports dynamic loading of classes. That means at runtime we load the classes. It also supports functions from its native languages C and C++. So whenever you are trying to dynamically load the classes, we are trying to check whether the malicious code is existing or not. And when we create the objects, everything is be done at runtime. And when you talk about the garbage collection, also it has been done at the runtime. and it is just been checking for the unused objects and releases the memory automatically. So in this sense, they say Java is dynamic. Now, why Java is interpreted? Now, Java interpreter, which is nothing but a Java virtual machine, it converts or translates the byte code, that is what we get after compilation, into the machine understandable format, that is a machine code. After that, the machine code interacts with the operating system. So the interpreter is the thing which is converting the byte code into the machine code, because every machine is having its own architecture and set of instructions to be understood. So the byte code is the intermediate code that need to be translated into the machine code. So that translation is done by the Java virtual machine, which is nothing but an interpreter. And the machine code, whatever is generated, that will interact finally with the operating system. Now here we can see the diagram. Like we have a .java file, and every Java application is saved with a .java extension, which has been called as a source code. Then you compile the source code, you get a .class file if there are no exceptions. And the .class file contains the bytecode. Now the bytecode should be interpreted by the virtual machine. We get a machine code as an output. Now why Java is multi-threaded? Now here Java supports multi-threading feature. Now when you talk about process, we say like process is a program under execution. And if you take a process, it goes for the sequential execution. It's taking a lot of time. In order to make the application to run much more faster, we go for the multi-threading concept, where a thread is an independent process to execute a set of statements. The term multi-threaded refers to creating multiple threads to handle multiple tasks simultaneously. So parallelly, we try to execute the threads, and each thread is going to be allocated a task. Whenever we do execution parallelly, then obviously our application is executing much more faster comparatively with when we talk with the process execution. So JVM uses multiple threads to execute different blocks of code of the same program in parallel. The multi-threading feature allows programmers to write programs to do multiple tasks simultaneously, that is parallelly. It improves CPU and main memory utilization, as the application does not need to finish one task before starting the other. So whenever we see that the parallel execution is going on, whenever one thread is completing its task, that is not the final output. The thread need to wait for some more time till all the threads complete that particular task, then the output is being generated. What is the advantage or the advantage of multi-threading in Java? Now, one is it is saving time because faster execution. It saves the cost also, because we call the multi-threads as a lightweight process where the minimum number of resources are be utilized. Then maximum utilization of resource. That means when we talk about CPU, at most extent we are trying to use a particular CPU without wasting the CPU cycles. Then threads are independent. So one thread does not affect another thread. So every thread is having its own memory allocated by the process. It then enhance the performance of complex applications. So whenever you write your complex applications where it is taking a lot of time for execution, then obviously we can implement the multi-threading concept in order to execute that application much more faster. Now, what is platform independent in Java? Now, platform independence in Java refers to the ability of Java programs to run on any device with a Java virtual machine without requiring any modifications to the code. So if you develop an application in Windows operating system, the same Java application can run on another operating systems like Macintosh operating system or Linux operating system, etc. There is no need of changing the code, because here we do copy the byte code, which is a compiled code, and we rerun that particular byte code by putting into different operating system. So one Java application can run on any operating system. That is called platform independent. Now, what is class in Java? Now, in Java, everything is been object oriented. So, where we talk about class and object. Now, class is a blueprint or template that defines the properties and behavior of objects. Class consists of instance variables and methods. Now, here the properties implies the instance variables. The behavior implies the methods. So, class is a collection of instance variables and methods. Now, what is object in Java? Now, in Java, we say everything is an object. Now, object is an instance of a class. So, for one class, as I said before, we have instance variables and methods. Now, in order to access those instance variables and methods, we require object of the particular class. So, I can say object is equivalent to a record. For one class, we can create n number of instances, and every object is holding its own individual memory. So the instance variables and methods of a class need to be accessed through objects. Now, what is a method in Java? A method is a set of instructions which performs a particular task. It is similar to a function what we call in C and C++. Now here when you go for the syntax of the method, we have the return type for the method. Like it could be void, integer, float, double, character, etc. Then the method name as well as the parameter list. It's optional. Parameter list is optional. If you want, you can. Otherwise, it depends on your application requirement. Then these are the set of instructions. Now, what is encapsulation in Java? Now, encapsulation is the process of bundling data and methods into a single unit or class. Now, class is the best example for encapsulation, where we put the data implies the instance variables and the methods we are trying to bind into a single class. And we do have some access specifier like private, public, and protected. So it depends on your application requirement, what you want, which access specifier you want to put, and you can see that only the concerned instance variables can be accessed by the other classes. Now, what is inheritance in Java? Acquiring the properties and behavior from superclass to subclass is the process of inheritance. Again, whatever the instance variables and methods you are writing in the superclass, those can be derived into the subclass based on again the access specifier. If you want to restrict, also you can do. But here we use the concept of reusability. We need not go for duplication of code into the subclasses. Now, what is polymorphism in Java? Now, the ability of doing a task in many ways is called as polymorphism. The best example is method overloading. And method overloading, we see that method name is same, but the parameters what you're writing for the methods are different. So instead of writing different method names, we go for only a single method name. But how to differentiate the methods, it implies on the parameter list. So whatever the parameters you have been writing for the methods, the data types are playing the main role, not the count. Now, which software is used to execute Java applications? So we have JDK, that is Java Development Kit software. Now, what is the extension of Java application? So when you save a Java application, you need to give the extension called .java. Now, which command is used to compile Java program? So Java C is a command which is used to compile the Java application. Which type of file is generated after compiling Java program? So it's a .class file is generated after the compilation of your Java program. Now, which type of code is available in .class file? We get bytecodes. Now, what is bytecode in Java? Java bytecode is intermediate code that is generated by the Java compiler when source code is compiled. So bytecode is not a machine code. Bytecode is only the intermediate code. That intermediate code need to be converted later on to the machine specific code by the Java interpreter. Now what is JVM? Now JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. Now it allows Java programs to run on various operating systems and platforms. It interprets Java bytecode and provides a machine code for the Java applications. So the work of Java Virtual Machine is to convert the bytecodes into the machine code. Which command is used to run the Java program? Java command is used to run the Java program. What is a variable? Now the variable is a place to store some value, and it also has the ability to change its value at runtime. So it depends. One is to store a value. One is if there is any requirement of change of the value for a variable, still you can do it. Now what is a data type? Now a data type is an attribute associated with a piece of data that tells a computer system how to interpret its value. Now if at all I want to store a number, then I need to give some information to the computer that okay, this variable need to hold so and so particular type of data. So I need to prefix called int. If you want to go for decimals, you need to prefix a float. So it clearly mentioned that what type of data you want to store into the variable. Now list out primitive data types in Java. So the following are the primitive data types. We have byte, and it has 1 byte of storage, and short 2 bytes of storage, int 4 bytes of storage, and long 8 bytes of storage. So byte, short, int, and long belongs to the integers. When you talk about decimal values, you have float 4 bytes of storage, double 8 bytes of storage. These two belongs to the decimal values. Then if you want to go for a character, we have char data type, which stores 2 bytes of storage. And when you want to go for storing true and false values, we have a boolean data type where 1 byte of storage is applicable. Now list out non-primitive data types in Java. So we have class, interface, string, array. Now these are the non-primitive data types in Java.